The neural implant pulsed against Daniel's temple, a constant reminder of his inadequacy. In the gleaming corridors of the Arcturus station, where genetic perfection was the baseline and cognitive enhancement the norm, he was an anomaly, a baseline human among gods. "Move aside, relic," Commander Voss sneered as he shouldered past Daniel in the quantum lab. The enhanced officer's cybernetic eye whirred with disdain. "Some of us have actual work to do." Daniel said nothing. He never did. 23 years aboard humanity's most advanced deep space research facility, and he'd learned that silence was survival. His fingers trembled as he returned to his terminal, analyzing the electromagnetic signatures from the nearby nebula. Grunt work, data entry, the job they gave to someone whose synaptic processing speed was a fraction of the crew's augmented elite. But Daniel saw things others didn't. For weeks, he'd noticed the pattern. Microsecond fluctuations in the station's gravitational sensors, always at 3:47 hours. Anomalies so subtle that the enhanced crew's automated filters dismissed them as cosmic background noise. Daniel's unaugmented brain, forced to work harder, to think differently, had caught what their superior processing had missed. Something was watching them. "Daniel," Elsa's voice cut through his concentration. She was the only one who used his name instead of baseline or worse. Her auburn hair floated weightlessly in the lab's reduced gravity as she drifted over, concern etched across features that needed no enhancement to be striking. "You've been here for 18 hours straight. The medical AI will flag you again." "I'm fine." His voice was hoarse from disuse. Elsa's enhanced eyes, capable of seeing across 12 wavelengths, narrowed. Despite her augmentations, she'd never treated him as lesser. Perhaps because she remembered what it was like to be unenhanced, having been baseline herself until the Academy mandated modifications. "You're not fine. You're obsessing over those sensor readings again." "Because they're wrong." Daniel pulled up the holographic display, his baseline hands manipulating the controls with practiced precision. "Look here, here, and here. The pattern is mathematical, deliberate." Elsa studied the data, her processor implants running calculations that would take Daniel hours in mere seconds. Her expression shifted from concern to confusion to something approaching fear. "My God, Daniel, this is..." The station shuddered. "Emergency!" klaxons screamed through the corridors as the lights flickered between operational blue and warning red. Daniel's terminal exploded with alerts. The gravitational anomaly he'd been tracking wasn't approaching anymore. It was here. "All personnel to emergency stations." Commander Voss's voice boomed through the intercom. "We have an unidentified mass displacement directly adjacent to the station. Enhanced tactical teams report immediately." The transmission cut off as something massive materialized alongside Arcturus station. Through the laboratory's reinforced viewport, Daniel saw it, a structure that defied conventional geometry, its surfaces shifting between dimensions his eyes couldn't quite process. Not a ship, something else, something that bent spacetime around it like fabric. "Xenotech," Elsa whispered, her face pale. "Actual Xenotech." For 200 years, humanity had searched the stars and found nothing. No aliens, no ancient civilizations, just empty worlds and silent nebulae, until now. The station shuddered again, harder. Systems began failing in cascade: life support, propulsion, communications. Daniel watched in horror as the enhanced crew scrambled, their superior processing speeds useless against technology they had no framework to understand. Their implants, designed for human systems, couldn't interface with the alien signal flooding the station's networks. But Daniel could see the pattern. His unaugmented mind, slower but more flexible, recognized what the alien system wanted. Not conquest, not communication in any conventional sense. It was testing them, sending mathematical proofs that required intuitive leaps, not processing power. Questions that couldn't be brute forced. "Everyone out," Commander Voss was evacuating the lab, enhanced officers moving with superhuman speed toward escape pods. This section is depressurizing. Wait, Daniel's voice cracked with urgency. For the first time in his life aboard this station, people turned to listen. It's not an attack, it's a test. Voss's cybernetic eye focused on him with laser precision. What? Daniel's fingers flew across his terminal, his baseline reflexes suddenly an advantage. The alien system responded to unpredictability, to creativity that couldn't be algorithmed. He input a sequence, not the optimal mathematical solution the enhanced cruise implants would calculate, but something more chaotic, more human. The Fibonacci sequence, but reversed and interwoven with prime numbers. Irrational by conventional logic. Perfect by alien standards. The station stopped shaking. The lights stabilized. And through every screen aboard Arcturus, a message appeared in characters that somehow made sense to human minds despite being utterly foreign. One remains unchanged. One understands. Elsa grabbed Daniel's shoulder, her enhanced grip trembling. Daniel, what did you do? He stared at the alien structure outside, now pulsing with what might have been approval or acknowledgement. I answered honestly. They weren't testing our intelligence or our enhancements. They were testing whether we'd lost something in becoming more than human. Commander Voss approached slowly, his augmented features unreadable. Around them, the enhanced crew stood silent, their superior processing unable to comprehend what their weakest link had just accomplished. Baseline, Voss said quietly, and for the first time the word carried no venom. What else have you been seeing that we've been missing? Daniel met his eyes without flinching. 23 years of rage at being overlooked, dismissed, treated as evolutionary deadweight, crystallized into something sharp and cold. Not anger anymore, something far more powerful. Certainty. Everything, Daniel said. I've been seeing everything you're too enhanced to notice. The alien structure pulsed once more, then folded back through dimensions humanity couldn't name, leaving behind a data stream only Daniel's unaugmented mind could fully parse. Not because he was weak. Because he was different. And in a universe of infinite variables, different was the ultimate strength. Elsa smiled, squeezing his shoulder. Welcome to being essential, Daniel. For the first time in 23 years, Daniel smiled back. They'd thought he was weak. His rage had burned quiet and patient for decades. Now they'd learn what he'd always known, that humanity's future belonged not to its most enhanced, but to those who remembered what being human truly meant.